Hi, Claire and Claire's daughter. Hey, I thought I'd just make you a really quick video here so you can kind of see what I've got going here. So this is a typical message that I got. This is all about the maps for the Wi-Fi. So this is a typical message. So there's multiple places where there's some Wi-Fi availability. So you can kind of see this. There's the Blue Sky Hall parking lot, the Great Plains Hall parking lot, and then the Frank Wise Center. So I don't necessarily know exactly about all of these three places. Okay, so let me just kind of walk you through my line of thinking here. So if I go to my Google account, and you can't make a Google map without having a Google account of some sort. And if you're using a company or organization or school Google, they'll need to let you be able to do this. So just a word of warning. If you have a regular Google account that you just went to Google and created it yourself, that'll work. This will work great. So what I want to do is I'm going to click on the little tic-tac-toe thingy up here, which is called the Google Apps button. And I call it the tic-tac-toe because it looks like tic-tac-toe. So there's the maps. We want to go to the maps. So this is the account that I'm creating this in. And in this particular case, this is my Matt Hurt at CWC account. So I'm going to click on this little hamburger menu, technically hamburger menu, like a Big Mac hamburger, and come over here on the left-hand side. And you've got all these things. Most people don't ever go here. But these are all different sorts of things that you can explore. I'm in this third section down here. This is the Your Places. This is where you want to go. So the labels are just things that have been labeled for me. I don't really label a whole bunch of things on this CWC account. I do this on my own personal stuff. Here's my saved items. Here's the visited places, because I don't have location sharing turned on for my CWC account. And then here's my maps, and this is the place where we want to go. So if you want to create a map, you can come down here at the bottom and you can create a map. Well, I've already created one or started one. So I created two of them. I created this test Wi-Fi, which was just so I could practice, basically. And then the other one here, the Wi-Fi access points, is the one that we're kind of focused on. So we'll just read it. The map contains locations where internet access via Wi-Fi may be available. So this view that I have here is only for looking. Okay, so I'm not editing. And you can see that there's 38 more spots that we have here. And sometimes one spot has multiple objects associated with it, but it's really easy to do that. Now, this is the map, but if I zoom in a little bit using the plus and minus here, you can see that there's more and more and more and more and more detail as you get in here. Okay, so we put this little button here. We drew this little object in here, which means that's the area where you might actually park. But if you click on this thing, it gives you a little bit more detail about that particular circle. If you click on the little polygon that we drew here, it gives you some different information. They're both the same. Now the way that we do, let me zoom back out. So this is Lander that we're looking at. Okay, so there's some other locations here. Holiday Inn. If we come over here, this is the CWC Lander. And you can see there's a little image here that you can actually see. But if you come in here, I kind of drew a little polygon. And you can make these 5-sided, 3-sided. I think you can even make some circles. I'll show you how to do that in a second. So to get back to the place where we edit the map, you need to click on the Open My Maps. And so this is the free tool that you can use to edit the map with. So in this particular case, you can see there's Add a Layer, there's Share, there's Preview. This is the place where you're going to be, you can measure distances. You can put directions on there. I didn't do any of that. You can draw a line. I didn't use any of that. Actually, I did use that. I used the draw the line feature to make those polygons. And then these are where the markers are. These are the little Wi-Fi access points that you see. So this little button here was the add marker. That's the Wi-Fi. I'll show you how to do that. And then the lines are the other ones that I used to make the polygons. So I'm going to add one of these spots here. So the Frank B. Wise Business Center. Okay, so that's in Fort Washakie. So I'm just going to search for that. It takes me to the Frank B. Wise Business Center. And let's actually turn on the base map. And let's make this satellite so I can kind of see what's what. So it's a little bit of an older view, but you can, because there's a little bit more grass growing there. So let me turn this off here. So this area here in the front is where you're going to be able to get some pretty decent Wi-Fi. So let's just maybe put a mark here, 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 and here. Okay, so we're going to call this, whoops, Wi-Fi access available. And we'll call this Frank Wise Wi-Fi available. Okay. Park near the front doors. And then let's go back to my email. And in my email is the, somewhere, there it is. Okay, so it's telling me Frank B. Wise Business Center, 3 networks one might see from the parking lot. And so what we'll do is we're going to add all of this information into our map. Nope, there it is. Park near the front doors. There are 3 networks with passwords. Oops. Okay, so it shows us those. So something like that, just to kind of keep things somewhat organized. But it gives you 3 different ways to be able to connect at this particular location. So if I save that, that's going to be in this location here. If we want to make some colors on here, we can do that here. So I've got the kind of a blue there. I could make it a little darker blue if I wanted to. I can change the border width. I can change the polygon transparency just so it's more obvious. And this is just kind of playing around with things a little bit. But in that background there, you can begin to see. If I wanted to add an image, I could click on this little image, add an image button. If there was some reason to do that. In this particular case, I don't think so. But there's one other thing that we want to do. We want to add a marker here. And so when I click here, it's going to give me Frank Wise Wi-Fi available. Okay, and I'll just paste this in here, and we'll save this. But we're going to come back down here, and you can see there's a style, there's an edit. Let's go to the style, and then you can see that there's some icons here. And if you go to more icons, and you did a search for Wi-Fi, you can see that there's a Wi-Fi. So if you choose that one, or you can make your own custom icon if you wanted to. And there's my Wi-Fi icon. That's automatically going to show up here now since I picked it. And I could change the color of that if I wanted to. That's probably good enough. So now so my map's already been saved. My new points have already been placed in here. And I can preview the map if I want to. And this is what it's going to look like. So let's go to the reservation, Fort Washakie, and I believe there's the Frank B. Wise Business Center, and here is my new stuff. So to test my theory out here, I'm going to go to, I think it's just at cwc.edu. And if I go to my central down here at the bottom, there's the available free Wi-Fi map, and let's just see if it's actually in here. I'm going to click on this view larger map so you can kind of see it shows it in an embedded form here, but let's just see if it updated properly. And if I come here, there's Fort Washakie, and there's Frank Wise, and there's all the stuff. So if I click on the little Wi-Fi icon, it gives you the things that are there, it gives you travel directions, and then if you click on the little parking lot area, it gives you some other information, you know, real similar, but so there's like 2 different places for this. So then you can, if you're just at the CWC place, you can share it this way, or you can embed it on a different site. This is the little trick to get you to see just the map itself like this. So there you go. Hopefully that's helpful. Maybe a little too much information, but hopefully that would be helpful for you, and you can show all your friends and be the cool person. One thing, you really do have to have a Google account in order to create or edit one of these maps. So yeah, if you have questions, let me know though. Thanks.